Welcome to the CTech Podcast, your go-to source for everything environmental engineering. Join us as we delve into sustainable industrial practices, exploring topics like wastewater treatment, water purification, solid waste management, air quality control, noise and vibration, environmental impact assessments, and the latest in environmental legislation. Whether you're a seasoned professional, an industry leader, a student, or simply someone eager to make a positive impact, you're in the right place. Together, let's pave the way to a sustainable future, one episode at a time.
Hi everyone, welcome back for another episode on our video series on environment engineering. Today we will be discussing the second part of our previous episode where we discuss about the industry effluent management in Sri Lanka. So in earlier episode we have discussed what are the available options for discharge of industrial effluent as mentioned in the Act. So in today's episode we will start from there. There are several discharge options are available or mentioned in the Act for discharge of wastewater, such as discharge into inland surface waters, discharge into coastal waters, discharge into marine waters, discharge into land for agriculture purpose, or discharge of leachate in respect to either solid waste or hazardous waste landfill into inland surface waters or coastal waters or both. And finally, the discharge into public sewer network connected to either to common treatment plant or a sea outfall or a combination of both. So these are the main discharge options available at the Act, and now we will discuss one by one what are these discharge options and what are the other informations or other informations which we should know when it's come to this particular discharge option. So first we will start with the discharge of wastewater into marine waters. So marine water means basically the water in the area bounded by mean low water line, and the outer limit is terrestrial sea. So basically this for the sea. So there are three options: near shore water outfall, short sea outfall, and long sea outfall. So in our Act there are three categories are mentioned, and for each category the separate water quality parameters are listed out. So this limit values mentioned in the list has to be measured at the entrance of the outfall, preferably at the manhole or at the pumping station. And of course when we are deciding where to put or where to design the sea outfall, the design incorporating bathymetry, dilution based on actual meteorological and current data at the place of construction details such as pipe details, anchoring details, diffuser description. So such details has to be approved by the Coastal Conservation and Coastal Resource Management Department and also from the Marine Environment Protection Agency, MEPA as well. So this authority will decide the final discharge point, either near shore water or short sea outfall or a long sea outfall, as the case may be, on the basis of an environment screening of likely impacts. If in the case this tolerance limit for radioactive material exceeds the standard mentioned in the Act, the Sri Lanka Atomic Energy Regulatory Council laws will apply when the effluent contains radioactive material and if it exceeds the limit mentioned in the Environment Act. So this near shore discharge means, as I described earlier, this is between mean low water line and the line drawn parallel to wave breaking point with a depth of 2 meters. That is the near shore discharge. And short sea outfall means minimum dilution factor of 1 to 10 at a distance of 10 meters from the point of exit of the pipeline or tunnel. So the water has to meet the dilution of 10 times within 10 meters from the point of exit of the pipeline or the tunnel. And when it's come to the sea outfall, the minimum dilution factor is 100 at a distance of 500 meters from the point of exit. So this is how these three categories of outfalls are distinguished from each other. Then we will move into the coastal waters. So coastal zone means the area referred in the Coastal Conservation Act. In other words, coastal water means a body of surface water confined in an area lying within limit of 300 meters landwards of the main high water line or a surface water in a river, stream, lagoon or any other water body connected to sea, either permanently or periodically, within to a limit of 2 kilometers landward measured perpendicular from the mean high water line. So this coastal water means basically the mostly the brackish water. So when we are discharging industrial effluent into the coastal water also, we have to make sure that the water doesn't have any unpleasant odors, and these limit values are based on that the coastal water that the receiving coastal water should have a capacity to dilute this incoming effluent by 8 times. In the event where this dilution factor is found to be less, the limit value given in the list shall be adjusted on a proportionally basis so that it give rise to more stringent limit value. Similarly, in the case of tolerance limit for radioactive material exceeds the standard mentioned in the list, then the Sri Lanka Atomic Energy Regulatory Council laws will apply. Then the next discharge option is discharge of wastewater into inland surface water. So the inland surface water means any standing or flowing water on the surface of the land extending up to boundary of the coastal water. So that is called as inland surface water. So again, here also we have to make sure, or we have to make all efforts to remove any unpleasant odors. And again, here also these limits values are based on the premises that the inland surface water, the dilution factor should be at least 1 to 8. In an event where the dilution factor is not met, the limit value given in the list shall be adjusted on a proportional basis so as to give rise to strict standard values. And again, here also, if the radioactive limit is exceeded, then the Sri Lanka Atomic Energy Regulation Council laws will apply. Then the next option is discharge of wastewater or effluent into land for the agriculture purpose. So when we are discharging the water or the effluent, treated wastewater into land, there should be certain criteria has to be met. First one is the highest seasonal groundwater table, usually in the rainy season, it has to be at least 5 meters below the existing ground surface. So at the rainy season, the maximum groundwater level should be at least 0.5 meters below the existing ground level, and the natural slope of the existing ground surface shall not be steeper than 30%. And if however the land is steeper than 30%, then it is allowable under circumstances where the measures are taken in order to curtail the runoff arising due to this say discharges due to the steep angle. So more than 30% slopes also they are allowed us to discharge, but special measures has to be taken in order to avoid the runoff. When the slope is more than 30%, at the reports it has to be mentioned what are the methods by which the runoff is curtailed, and those reports has to be submitted to authority and get the approval for the proposed method. And other than this, the test reports indicating this design infiltration rate done by the competent authority for the soil investigation shall be submitted to Central Environment Authority before getting approval for discharging this wastewater into irrigation purpose. So in this case, the in situ infiltration rate of the land which the effluent to be discharged shall be measured according to the standard test methods for the infiltration test rates of soil in the field using this double ring infiltrometers as mentioned in the standard methods. So in the case if the soil layers are different, the number of in situ tests to be carried out for the land to which the effluent discharge is planned shall be as follows. So it is also mentioned in the act. If the land is less than 0.1 hectares, one test is enough. If the land is more than between 0.1 hectares to 1 hectares, we have to do 2 tests, which means 2 locations. And for the land having extent greater than 1 hectare up to 5 hectare, there should be 3 locations. The test has to be done in 3 locations. And for a land having extent greater than 5 hectares, 5 tests to be done throughout the land. So this design infiltration rate obtained should be obtained by averaging this infiltration rate, and they are advising us to multiply it by the factor of safety. So 0.33 factor of safety, and this method estimation of the infiltration will recommended merely to account the variation of soil strata in the land to which the effluent to be discharged. These methods or design details are described. We have to mention that the method of irrigation over the land and number of hours of application and the effluent storage facilities and type of crops and other details to be mentioned in the report and should be forwarded to the authority. And authority has a sole power to decide based on the report submitted by the submitted to them with describing the applicable infiltration rate, so that the project developer could adhere to given infiltration rate in deciding the land requirement for the disposal of effluent for the purpose of agriculture. In the case of the tolerance limit, the radioactive material exceeds again the standards stipulated by the Sri Lanka Atomic Energy Regulatory Council should again apply in this case as well. Then the next discharge option is discharge of leachate, either generated from solid waste or hazardous waste landfill into either inland surface water or to coastal waters. So here also we have to make sure the unpleasant odors and colors are omitted, and these limited values are based on the premise that the either inland surface water or coastal water, the dilution factor of 1 to 8 has to be met. In the event this dilution factor is found to be less, the limit value in the list shall be adjusted accordingly. When it comes to this leachate discharge, the authority may decide the final discharge point either inland surface water or coastal waters, as the case may be, on the basis of environment screening with considering the impacts. So authority has the power to decide the final discharge point. Then the final discharge options, where the discharge of wastewater into public sewer network connected either to common treatment plant or a sea outfall. So when we are discharging under this category, we have to make sure that discharge of highly viscous material is prohibited, and sludge including calcium carbide shall not be discharged, and substances providing inflammable vapor shall be absent, and oil-based substance shall not be discharged again. So radioactive material, similar to earlier categories also, if the limit exceeds the standards mentioned by the Sri Lanka Atomic Energy Regulator Council should apply. So these are the basic rules mentioned in the Act with respect to discharge of industrial effluents. And with that, I would like to conclude today's episode, and I hope to see you all in the next episode. And please do subscribe and like our video, and we highly value your comments in the comment section as well. So see you again. Thank you very much.